Hi there, my name is Daniel Gomez and I work as a web developer at JDK Outstanding Technologies. In this video, we're going to be talking about encapsulation and how this concept can be applied using C Sharp, which is one of the most on-demanded programming languages for backend purposes. But first, let's clarify what encapsulation is. So, encapsulation is one of the fundamental concepts of object-oriented programming. In C Sharp, like in other programming languages, encapsulation allows us to hide the internal details of a class and expose only the necessary interface to interact with it. And all of this promotes modularity, code reuse, and security. Modularity means that by grouping related data and behaviors into a single unit, like in a class, encapsulation will promote code modularity, making it easier to maintain, reuse, and extend. Code reusability means that by encapsulating commonly used functionality within classes, this will allow developers to reuse existing classes in new contexts, reducing redundancy and promoting consistency across the code base. And when we talk about security in the encapsulation context, we mean that by encapsulating data within a class and providing methods to access and modify that data, for example, through the use of getters and setters, then validation rules and access restrictions can be applied to protect the integrity of the data. And in that way, also protect the behavior that our objects should have. Now let's get started to see how this encapsulation concept can be applied using the C# syntax. First, as most object-oriented programming languages, C# also has what we know as access modifiers, which are very important for the application of the encapsulation concept. So let's say for this class person, I have this property named job, which will be a string. And if I set this property as public, that means the property job will be accessible from anywhere in the code. But if I set this property as private instead, that will make the property accessible only from within the class itself, and no input from outside this class will be able to modify this property. There are other access modifiers like protected, which basically will provide access only from the class itself and other classes that are inheriting from this same class. Also, we have the access modifier internal, which will provide access only within the current project, since it is common in C# to see several projects referencing each other. Okay, now let's see an example of the importance of encapsulation and how to apply it in a super basic console application so it can be even easier for us to understand this concept. So using this class person with these properties, name, age, job, and this method print person info, here I have this basic console application that creates the object user, and at the end it'll print this custom string. So let's see how it is supposed to work. So as we can see, the console application asks for my name, then asks my age and my profession. And as we can see right here, it prints out the following string. Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm 25 years old and I work as a web developer. But what if the user of this application by mistake or by any other reason enters some extra spaces in their name? Let's see what happens. I'm entering my name with some extra white spaces here and then the rest of the information. As we can see here, those extra spaces have been included in our custom string. And now the behavior we want the method of our class to have has been compromised. Fortunately, we can use encapsulation to prevent this kind of situation from happening again. So let's get back to the class person. And in order to prevent our data from being modified from outside this class, we can first create the private property for name, which will be in charge to save the final value of the name that the user enters. And as mentioned before during this video, we can use getters and setters methods to apply validation rules and access restrictions so we can protect the integrity of the data. So basically, in the public property for name, we can use the getters and setters in the following way. We use get, so we can retrieve the value of the private property underscore name using a return just like this. Then we'll use set, so we can make the private property underscore name to be the value that the user gives us. In the set context, value is a keyword that indicates we want the private property to be the data that we receive in this assignation right here. So if we remember, in this example, we want to prevent the user from modifying the behavior of the class by entering extra spaces in the property name. And we can do that by using the method trim right after value, which will remove all the white spaces characters at the beginning and at the end of a string. And now what we have just done here is encapsulation. We have encapsulated the property name so we can save a clean value in the private property underscore name. So let's try to enter some extra spaces in the console application again and see how it works now. I enter my name with some extra white spaces again here and the rest of the information. As you can see, this time the extra white spaces have not been included in our final string, and this is because we have already encapsulated the property name, so the outside cannot modify the behavior it is supposed to have. So that will be all for today. I hope you found this explanation helpful, and see you next time.